I sold my motorcycle to buy her a ring. 2 weeks later, she accidentally sent me a text that said, "He's proposing today. I'll say yes this time." It wasn't me. I sat in my car for hours that night. Then I made a decision. She never saw me walk into the restaurant with his wife. I, 34 male, sold my motorcycle to buy my girlfriend a ring. 2 weeks later, she sent me a text that wasn't meant for me. We'd been together 3 years. I really thought she was it. Her name's Melissa. She's 31. Works as a nurse at a hospital in Overland Park, Kansas. We met through a friend, started off slow, and over time it felt real. I brought her around my parents during Thanksgiving 2 years ago. My mom loved her. She'd say, "You better not screw this one up, Danny." I thought I was doing everything right. Melissa would hint about marriage here and there. Not pushy, but it came up. She'd text me photos of rings she liked, little jokes like future goals, or ask if I'd rather do a beach wedding or a church one.
Stuff like that.
I thought it was cute. Money was tight. I don't make a ton. I work at a car shop. I'm decent with saving, but I've had debt from a dumb loan I took when I was 24. So I didn't have much lying around. But I had my bike. 2015 Harley-Davidson Softail Slim. Blacked out. Loud, clean, fast. That bike meant more to me than any other thing I owned. It was mine. My escape. My best memories from the last decade were on that bike. She used to love it too. Back when we first started dating, she'd ride with me. Said she felt alive. We'd take Sunday trips just to get lost. So when I sold it, I told myself it was for something better. I found a guy through a Facebook group. Sold it cash for $11,000. The guy drove off on it, and I just stood there with my hands in my pockets, trying not to let it hit me too hard. I took half the money and bought the ring. The rest went toward the restaurant, the setup, and a few payments I was behind on. I made a reservation at her favorite Italian place. Quiet, dim lighting, real good wine. I planned the whole thing. I'd give a little speech. Nothing dramatic. Just honest. I loved her, and I was ready. Then the night before, I got the text. I was in bed just watching TV. She said she was doing meal prep at her place. My phone buzzed, and it was a message from her. "He's proposing today. I'll say yes this time." That's it. One sentence. But it tore through me. I stared at it, thinking maybe it was a joke. Or maybe she meant me and just worded it weird. But that last part, this time, that's what killed it for me.
I didn't reply.
I didn't call her. I got up, walked to my car, and sat in the driver's seat. It was cold. I just sat there. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I didn't even know what to feel. I just felt numb. I started scrolling her Instagram. She'd posted a photo the week before with her sister at a winery. I looked at the tagged photos and saw one I hadn't seen before. Some dude, tan, clean-shaved, too white of a smile, standing next to Melissa at a rooftop bar. She was laughing, her hand on his chest. She wasn't wearing the sweater I thought she wore to work that day. I clicked his profile. Jason something. Kansas City area. Worked at a mortgage place. I looked deeper and saw another post from a Chiefs game.
Same guy.
Same Melissa. She told me she worked a double shift that weekend. Then I found the comment. "I've missed this." My ears started ringing. I didn't even realize I was gripping the steering wheel until my knuckles went white. I stayed in my car until 3 a.m., just thinking, trying to process. And at some point, something switched in my head. I wasn't going to just walk away from this. I couldn't. I had the ring in my coat pocket. I hadn't even told my mom I was planning to propose. I wanted to surprise everyone. Instead, I got the surprise. The next day, I started digging. Found Jason on LinkedIn. Mortgage advisor. Office in downtown Kansas City. Then I found his Facebook. He wasn't private. And that's how I found her, his wife. Taylor. She had real estate photos, family photos, a lot of smiling, overly filtered shots. Work hard, love harder type of captions. Married since 2021. I didn't even hesitate.
Y más allá que erra, y. You don't know me.
But I think your husband is planning to propose to my girlfriend tonight. I thought you should know. Then I sent the screenshots. I waited. 10 minutes later she replied, "Where?" That's all she said. Not "what is this?" Not "are you serious?" Just one word. She must have known something. I told her the place. 7 p.m. Reservation was under my name. I had set it all up. She said, "I'll be there." That whole day, I barely ate. My stomach was in knots. I kept checking the ring box like an idiot. I thought maybe I should just throw it in the river. But I needed to see her face. I needed to see what she looked like when it all came crashing down. At 6:50 p.m., I parked and waited. Same car. Same spot. Just watching the entrance. At 6:57, Melissa walked in. She was glowing. I mean glowing. New dress. Hair perfect. She had that little bounce in her step she only gets when she's excited. Jason showed up 5 minutes later. He walked in holding something in his coat. Probably the same kind of box I had. My stomach turned again. They sat. They ordered wine. I could see them smiling through the window. Melissa leaned over and touched his hand. Then I saw Taylor's car pull in. She stepped out calm, dressed like she came from a showing. High heels. No hesitation. She didn't knock on my window. Didn't look at me. Just walked straight inside. I followed. They didn't see us at first. Taylor walked right up to the table and set the screenshots down next to their bread basket. Melissa looked at the paper, then up at Taylor, confused. Jason's jaw dropped. He looked like a ghost. Then Melissa saw me. Her whole face changed. Eyes wide. She whispered something, probably my name. I walked up behind Taylor. I looked straight at Melissa and said, "That ring? The one he was going to give you? It's nothing compared to the one I bought you. I sold my motorcycle for it. You remember that bike? You used to love it. I sold it for you." I pulled the box out and dropped it on the table. "Keep it. You'll need it." Jason looked like he wanted to crawl under the table. Taylor slapped him. Not hard. Just enough to sting. Enough for everyone to hear. She turned around and walked out. I gave Melissa one last look. She looked like she wanted to cry. But she didn't say a thing. I walked out, followed Taylor to the parking lot. We didn't speak. She just nodded once, like a thank you, and drove off. I stood there for a while. Then I got in my car and drove home. Alone. The night after the restaurant blew up, Melissa tried to call me. 6 times. Left 2 voicemails. I didn't listen to either. I blocked her number and deleted her from social media. But I didn't block her work phone. I knew she'd try that next, and she did. The text came in at 7:42 the next morning. "Dan, please. I need to explain. It's not what it looks like." That's the line everyone uses when it's exactly what it looks like. I didn't reply. I wanted to ignore her forever, but part of me wanted answers. I wanted to know how long this had been going on. When she started lying. If there were more. I didn't text her back, but I did one thing. I went to my buddy Travis. He works IT at the hospital where Melissa works. He'd helped me fix a laptop once. I told him everything. He said, "Man, I'm not supposed to do this, but screw her." Next day, he handed me a flash drive. Said, "She uses her hospital email like it's Gmail. You didn't hear this from me." That night, I opened it on my old desktop at home. My hands were shaking. There were over 40 emails between Melissa and Jason. Most of them short, flirty stuff. Some of them were about times they'd meet. Days she told me she was working late or visiting her sister. She even made fun of my job once. "He smells like motor oil 24/7 face with tears of joy. I swear, he doesn't even know what a Roth IRA is." That one stung. I'm not rich. I work on engines. But I loved her. The worst email was from the week I sold my bike. She wrote, "He's selling his stupid Harley because he thinks I'm gonna marry him." I feel bad, but also kind of flattered. Jason replied, "Let him. Maybe he'll finally grow up." I pushed away from my desk and sat on the floor. I didn't cry. I just felt this burning in my chest. Like my blood was boiling. Then something hit me. One of those emails mentioned a weekend getaway. She said she'd be off the grid for 3 days in early March. Said she was going to see her cousin in Omaha, but I remembered that weekend. She posted one selfie from a cabin and then didn't answer any of my texts for 72 hours. I still had her login for our shared Netflix account. I knew she reused passwords. I tried logging into her Gmail with the same combo she used there. It worked. Inbox full of junk. Newsletters. A few family threads. Then I found the folder labeled Travel. Inside. Confirmations. Cabin in Branson, Missouri. Booked for 2. Under Jason's name. She'd forwarded the booking to herself with a smiley face and a gif that said, Weekend of Sin smiling face with horns. The date? 3 weeks before I sold the bike. That told me everything. It wasn't a slip-up. It wasn't one mistake. It was planned. She kept me around for money, for comfort.
I was a backup plan. She used me.
That's when I stopped feeling sad. I stopped hurting. I got cold. A week later, Taylor messaged me again. Just wanted to say, thanks again. Divorce papers are in. I replied, same here. Found a few more lies on my end too. We kept talking after that. Not like we were trying to flirt or anything. Just two people who got burned bad. Then she told me something else. Something I didn't know. Jason had done this before. She found messages from another girl. Same pattern. Sweet texts, secret weekends. He'd even used the same pet name. He called Melissa Sunshine. That was Taylor's nickname once too.
Sick pattern.
Taylor said she was going to burn him in court. She had a lawyer already. She asked if I'd be willing to give a statement about what happened that night about the affair. I said yes. But I had something better than a statement. I had the emails. The flirty ones. The timeline. The receipts. I sent her everything.
She thanked me.
Said it would help. I told her to take him for every dime. But even that didn't feel like enough. Because Melissa wasn't just some girl I dated. She was part of my family. She spent Christmas at my mom's. My nephew called her Aunt Mel. She was supposed to be my wife. And now, I was just the guy who sold his bike so his cheating girlfriend could be proposed to by another woman's husband. I couldn't let that be my ending. So I made another plan. One of the guys at the shop, Eddie, does side work fixing old bikes for collectors. I told him I had $4,000 and a grudge. He laughed and said, that's enough for a real loud entrance. I told him what I wanted. He helped me rebuild something special. Something custom. I wasn't just going to watch from the sidelines this time. I wanted to make Melissa see me again. But not like before. I wanted her to understand exactly what she threw away. And I had just the right way to do it. 3 weeks passed. I didn't hear from Melissa again. Not directly. But I heard things. My sister ran into her at a Target and said she looked drained. No makeup, hoodie up, eyes red. Melissa asked how I was doing. My sister didn't answer. Just stared at her and walked away. Then one of Melissa's old coworkers came into the shop for a break job. Said she quit the hospital. Said there was drama and whispers going around about her and a married man. Nurses talk. Hospitals are basically high school with 4 bags. That made me smile a little. But I still wasn't done. The custom bike I was building with Eddie? It was nearly finished. Old 96 Sportster. Loud, mean nothing fancy.
But solid.
We stripped it down, painted it black with red trim, and mounted a loud pipe that snarled when you hit the throttle. The kind of bike that makes people stop mid-conversation when it rolls by. It wasn't for comfort. It was for entrance. I had a reason now. Taylor had reached back out. She told me Jason was trying to delay the divorce. Said he wanted another chance. Claimed he was trapped by temptation.
Typical.
But here's the twist. Melissa reached out to her too.
Yeah.
Melissa emailed Taylor directly. She said she didn't know Jason was married. That she felt blindsided. She even tried to say that I had been abusive. That part hit me in the gut. I've never laid a hand on her. Never raised my voice. Never so much as cussed at her. That lie wasn't just low, it was dangerous. Taylor sent me a screenshot of the email. Subject line. From one woman to another. She ended it by asking if we could meet and talk privately. She was trying to save herself. I told Taylor to ignore her. She agreed. But then something else happened. This one made me sit down. I got a call from Melissa's mom. She said, "Dan, I don't know what happened, but Melissa's been a wreck. She moved back in with us. She cries all the time. She doesn't eat. She's lost a lot of weight. I know she messed up, but I also know she loved you." I stayed quiet. Then she said something I didn't expect. She asked me to tell you she's sorry. For everything. She said she was scared to be happy. Said you were too good to her, and it made her panic. Too good. That's what I got for selling my bike and planning a life with her. I told her mom I appreciated the call. That was it. But in my head, I was boiling again. Melissa didn't care when she was sneaking around. Didn't care when she let me look like a fool. Didn't care when I sat in that parking lot, ready to propose, while she was planning a life with someone else's husband. Now she wanted to feel sorry? Now she wanted peace?
No.
Not yet. I started making a plan for something final. Not revenge out of hate. This was something different. I needed her to see.
To feel what I felt.
To experience that deep, gut-punch betrayal that lingers. And I knew just how to do it. Melissa's birthday was coming up. She always went to the same place with her friends, Rocco's Lounge in downtown KC. Every year, same booth, same routine. Girls' night out, fancy dress, fake smiles, cheap champagne. I texted one of her old friends, Jess. She used to flirt with me when Melissa wasn't around. I never took the bait, but I knew she'd still respond. I told her I wanted to make things right. That I was thinking about surprising Melissa with something honest, something from the heart. Jess said, "She could really use that. I'll tell her you're coming."
Perfect.
That night, I put on a black shirt, my boots, and walked out to the new bike. It was 6:50 p.m. I rolled out slow, letting that engine roar down the block like thunder. Heads turned. That was the point. I got to Rocco's at 7:10. Parked the bike right outside the big front windows. Then I walked in. Jess saw me first.
Waved.
Melissa turned. Her eyes locked on me. She looked like she'd seen a ghost. She was in a red dress. Hair curled like she used to wear it. Makeup heavy, smile fake. Her face dropped the second she saw me. I walked up to the table.
Calm.
Straight-backed. Quiet. I pulled something from my pocket. Not the ring. A keychain. It was the tag from my Harley. The one I sold. I placed it in front of her. Said, "This was what I gave up for you. You remember what you gave up?" She opened her mouth. Nothing came out. I leaned in, whispered, "I'm not here for you. I'm here so you never forget what you destroyed." Then I turned, walked out, fired up the bike, and tore out of the lot so loud people covered their ears. I didn't look back. But the story wasn't over yet. Because 2 days later, a man showed up at the shop asking for me. I didn't recognize him at first. Clean cut. Cheap suit. Then he spoke. "I'm Melissa's father." I stood still. He said, "Can we talk?" Melissa's dad stood in the doorway of the shop, holding his hands in his coat pockets. It was cold out, early April, wind howling through the service bay. I wiped my hands on a rag and walked toward him slow. "I'm Dan," I said. He nodded. "Gary." We stood there in silence for a second. Then he said, "I'm not here to fight you. I just want to talk." I looked him in the eyes. Same tired eyes Melissa had. Same sad weight in them. I gave a nod and motioned to the break room. We sat at a dusty table while one of the other guys turned up the radio, so no one could hear us. He started slow. "She's been through hell, Dan. I know that's not your problem, but it's mine. She's my daughter. I didn't come here to defend her. She messed up. Bad. I wanted to ask if you're done. If you plan on dragging her name through the mud more." I leaned forward. "Did she tell you what she did? Not just the cheating. Not just the proposal, but what she told Jason's wife." He hesitated. "She made me out to be a monster. Said I was abusive. That I scared her." He looked down. She told me that too. I shook my head, pissed off all over again. I never touched her. I loved her. I sold everything for her. I bled for her. He looked up. She said you never laid a hand on her. She admitted she lied. Said she wanted to make Jason's wife back off. Said it got out of hand. I sat back. So, she admits it now? He nodded. She's seeing a therapist. She's ashamed. I almost laughed. Good.
Gary sighed.
She doesn't expect forgiveness. But she's not well, Dan. She tried something last week. Pills. That made me pause. Is she okay? He nodded. Physically, yeah. Emotionally? I don't know.
She's not eating.
Won't leave the house. She lost her job. Jason ghosted her. Told her she was just a phase. Her friends dropped her. She's all alone. There was a long silence between us. I wanted to feel pity. I really did. But all I felt was emptiness. You came here for what, exactly? I finally asked. I guess closure. Maybe to say sorry for her. Maybe to ask if you could just leave it be now. I looked him in the eye. I already did what I needed to do. I walked into that restaurant with his wife. I embarrassed them both. I sent the emails to her. I made sure Jason's firm found out, too. You know what happened? He shook his head. Taylor sent the emails to his boss. Guy got demoted. Lost commissions. Word spread around the office. He's toxic now. She froze his bank accounts and filed for spousal theft. The dude's drowning. I stood up. I didn't have to drag Melissa's name anywhere. She did it herself. I gave her the rope. She hung herself.
Gary didn't argue.
He stood up too. Looked older than when he walked in. I get it, he said. For what it's worth, I'm sorry. You were good to her. Too good. She couldn't handle it. He walked out without another word. And just like that, I felt something leave me. Some kind of weight I didn't know I was still carrying. 2 months passed. Taylor won big in the divorce. Jason had to sell his fancy car. He got kicked out of his condo. Word was he moved back in with his older brother across the state line. Last I heard, he was bouncing from bar to bar, telling people he got ambushed. Melissa stayed with her parents. I heard from a mutual friend that she still wasn't working. She posted some cryptic quotes online for a while, stuff about growth, pain, starting over. Eventually, she deleted all her accounts. One day in June, I got a handwritten letter. No return address. Just said, Dan, I don't expect you to forgive me. But I need you to know, I never deserved you. What I did was wrong. Every part of it. You gave me real love. I threw it away for cheap attention. When you walked into that restaurant, it broke me. Not because you embarrassed me, but because I realized in that moment I never really had you.
You were always above me. I'm sorry.
Melissa, I burned the letter in the backyard.
It's been a year now.
I never got the Harley back. But the new bike? It rides different. Feels like closure. Feels earned. I started dating again. Nothing serious yet. But I'm not bitter anymore. Melissa became a story people whisper about. A name that stings. Her life fell apart not because of me, but because of who she really was. Jason? He lost his marriage, his career, and the image he built. His own wife destroyed him using nothing but truth. And me? I lost a woman I thought was my future. But I found myself. And, in the end, that was the real revenge.